What's up, beautiful image bearers? It's me, CA3, and here's what my pastor preached about today. So today's topic was the pain of passion. Feel free to pause and read the scripture for context if you like, but here were the points that he illustrated today. First of all, what is passion? The seemingly uncontrollable urge to do something that drives us to our purpose. From there, of course, he went into the Passion of Christ. And I mean, most of us know about the Mel Gibson movie of that name, The Passion of the Christ. But how many of us actually think about what that really means? So Jesus' passion was to submit to the will of his Father. And this is something we see in Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through 8. And as a matter of fact, Jesus' passion actually revealed his purpose. So the principle here is your passion is for you, but your purpose is for others. So Jesus was passionate about pleasing his Father, but the purpose behind his death, burial, and resurrection was for us and our salvation. Jesus shows us that no one fulfills their purpose to others without passion. You got to care about what you're doing, otherwise you're just doing it in vain. But the thing that we learn from Jesus is that passion oftentimes is painful. So what does Jesus show us here? First of all, he shows us apparent deliberation, not actual deliberation, but what looked like deliberation. Basically, Jesus had to decide as a man to fulfill what he was assigned to do as God. Because yes, Jesus was God in the flesh, but at the same time, he was 100% human as well as God, which is why many of us refer to him as the God-man. But something I thought was real dope was the parallels between Jesus and Adam. Because just as a man made a decision in the Garden of Eden to disobey God, Jesus as a man made a decision in the Garden of Gethsemane to obey God. But Jesus also had to deal with absent-minded disciples. Dudes couldn't even stay awake for 1 hour. And the thing that shows us is that the passion of Christ was his passion, his and his alone. He couldn't expect the disciples to care about what he was doing because it wasn't their mission, it wasn't their passion. And so while he's praying, the disciples slept. And the thing to note here is that having a passion for what God has called you to do will at times require you to walk alone. You got to stay committed, however. And then, of course, the last thing we see is the acceptance of his duty. So Jesus pushes through the pain to move toward his purpose. He prays to the Father to let the cup pass, but ultimately prays that the Father's will be done. And Jesus wasn't really praying to get out of what he had to do. He knew his mission. This whole time on earth, he kept saying he was sent to do the will of his Father. He was very much in touch with what he was supposed to do. But in his humanity, there was the feelings that we have, the feelings of fear and anxiety. He's literally praying to the point where blood vessels pop in his face so that his sweat is mixed with blood. Even though he had to deal with his humanity, he knew at the end of the day that God's will had to be done. And if you're passionate about God, you will see through his purposes for your life. When the goal is to please him, nothing will get in the way of that, because we always finish what we start when we're passionate about it. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you're blessed by this. But yeah, I love you. Y'all be easy and peace.